Welcome to LI on the Rise. This is all about people who are chasing their dreams, chasing success, and people who are on the rise. I'm C. Matteo.
And it is your boy, Al Shep.
And today we have a phenomenal artist with us. It's Marcaux!
Hey, what up?
Welcome.
What's going
That was
on,
a
brother?
good intro. I liked it.
Mad hyped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like the yelling.
I always got to hit him with a Ric Flair woo to start it. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, man. Me and my buddies were going to go see Chris Webby a couple of years ago, and we all went early, and I walk in, and I see you up on stage, and you were just killing it, bro. You got the whole band with you.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how come I haven't heard of this guy before? Like, who is this guy?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, it was sick, dude. You threw out a shirt. You hit me right in the face.
Did I?
Dude, it was awesome. I loved it,
That's
man.
hilarious.
So let's bring it all the way back
Okay.
into your start of music.
Okay. Oh, how far back are we talking here?
When you were 8 years old and you began.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I was 8 years old. Yeah, I was 8 years old. I wrote my first rap with one of my best friends, just in my bedroom, just chilling. And I started playing guitar at 8 years old. I was in a elementary school band, played the trombone at 8 years old, and then from there just kept writing, kept learning instruments, drums, keys, bass, all that, kept writing, and then really got serious with it in high school around 16, starting producing, songwriting, all that. And it just led me to, like you said, the Chris Webby show, and that was my first show with the live band, so that was like history for me. It was like a milestone for me for sure.
So when it comes to your music, who would you say are some of your biggest influences?
Eminem for sure. As far as rapping goes, I grew up on like punk rock and hip hop. Really, like
Sick combo, man.
thanks,
hell yeah.
man. Yeah, like also like a lot of Linkin Park was huge in my life back in the day.
Yo, rest in peace, Chester, man.
Yeah,
Rest
hell yeah.
in peace, Chester, man. That was huge. That was a big deal.
Nobody saw that coming, man.
No, for real. That's the saddest ones when you don't see them coming, like Mac Miller and Chester and stuff like that. And it's like just groundbreaking, especially when they're so pivotal to your childhood. You know what I mean? Eminem for sure. My mom put me on to like Biggie and 50 Cent when I was little, and Ludacris, and trying to think of punk bands, and I was like big on Nirvana, Bad Brains. It was always huge. Linkin Park, like I said, a lot of pop punk. I listened to a lot of like Good Charlotte when I was younger.
Yeah, right on. We all did.
Blink-182,
Yeah.
Green Day. You know what I mean? Like those were the shit back in the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So your mom was cranking out some Biggie?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's
my
sweet.
mom's a huge hip hop fan. Man.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
she's like obsessed with Tech Nine.
Oh, word? Right on. Nice.
Like obsessed with Tech Nine.
You could punch me, kick me, slap me, smack me, spin a million and up tap me. But the way I laugh at bucks, I might get tapped up by Daffy. Wait, I had to say that when I graduate from this life, I'ma go to the blackest gates. Until then, I'ma kill these beats like
Yo, this track just passed away.
sing till I got no voice, and I rap till I got no breath. And a bad mood ain't no choice. Say we alright, then we got no left, and I am.
You are a dope rapper,
Thanks,
great
man.
artist. You got a dope flow. But when I listen to your music, what really stands out to me is your wordplay, man. Your wordplay is like off the charts, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's incredible. I really like this one line you have. You say, I ain't got no plan if it ain't the A, because plan B is only good when the condom's A. Dude,
Yeah.
I love that.
Real,
line.
real,
Man.
real.
Every time I do that song live, I always see someone in the crowd like like what?
I can't handle it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, whatever, man. Screw it.
So when it comes to your wordplay, do you have any advice for maybe a rapper who's watching who wants to get better with their wordplay?
First of all, I completely forgot to bring up Lil Wayne as like an influencer, and he's like the wordplay king, man. I feel like he was everyone listened to Lil Wayne songs when they were younger, heard some like a wordplay line, and like it shattered them like from the core. You know what I'm saying? So huge influencer when it comes to wordplay. Advice, I don't know, just definitely when you're thinking of a rhyme scheme and you figure out something that you could rhyme with, don't just put something generic before it. You know what I mean? Try to make it as intricate or as clever as possible. You know what I mean? That's how I really think of the wordplay, is like So I'm making a rhyme scheme and I'm like, oh, this rhymes with this. And then I'm like, what can I relate to that word that's not like super generic, super cliche? And then you make some wordplay. Clever. Even if it's not wordplay, it's like, it'll still be intricate. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like in the current state of hip hop, do you feel like most of the lyrics are getting generic?
Depends on the hip hop you're listening to, for sure.
But just mainstream, I
Yeah.
really mean.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I feel like maybe it's more acceptable to be generic, not necessarily that it's getting generic. I just feel like back in the day, if you were a generic rapper, you had no shot. You know what I mean? But now, if you have a dope beat, if you have a dope image, if you have dope promotion, you could be a generic rapper and still make a hit. So,
As you said before, you are a rapper and a producer. Now, out of the two, which took you the longest to perfect?
producing. I still think I suck at producing personally. Like when I produce, I feel like I'm not making like a full beat, and I feel like I'm still very minimal and skeletal with my beats. So a lot of times I think that I still have a lot to learn in music in general, but when it comes to production, I feel like I have so much to learn. I'm not the Kanyes and the Pharrells, you know what I mean? I'm just doing my thing.
So out of the two, which one do you enjoy the most?
Out of producing or
rapping?
I really like songwriting in general. Even if it's like a pop song, which is like something that I've been working on, or melodies and stuff. I really like songwriting. Producing, it's weird. It's so separate, you know. Like sometimes I'm in a producing mood when I'm like sitting at a laptop and working, and I'm not even thinking about lyrics. But then at the same time, what's cool is like I don't have to be in a specific location to write music. I could be driving in a car. I could be in the shower. I could be sleeping and just think of something and wake up and type it in, you know. So I love the idea of writing music, probably more. I'd rather be a songwriter. Yeah.
I feel you. You like that creative aspect of the songwriting and shit like that,
Yeah,
right? Hell
yeah, and that's how I started. I started producing in high school. I started writing music like 8 years old, like we said. So.
Word.
Yeah.
Now, in your song 95, you mentioned some of the greats like KRS-One, Eminem, Dre, and stuff like that. Do you feel like it's important for these hip artists today to respect the ones that have came before them?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems with hip-hop today, not that I'm any type of gatekeeper, so not that my opinion really matters, but I feel like such a huge problem with hip-hop right now is cultural appropriation instead of a cultural appreciation, where these people are just doing what sounds dope because it's cool to be a rapper without understanding where the real music came from to begin with. You know, like you said, we bring up KRS-One and Eminem or someone like Outkast who really like pushed boundaries, and even you go farther back like Slick Rick and Grandmaster Flash and stuff like that, you know. Like you have to study. You got to know your stuff, you know. You don't want to be that guy who claims he's a rapper and then people start bringing up like Big L and you have no idea. You're like, oh, I don't even know who Big L is. Like, you know. How are you a rapper then? I don't even understand.
Do you kind of feel like this generation might have like lost that respect for it a little bit in a sense?
Sometimes, yeah. And sometimes I feel like they didn't dive far enough. Then again, I don't want to knock anyone, but if you're my age, you grew up in a state of Ludacris and Nelly and Chingy, and like, you know what I mean? That was our age group's music. So
Hurricane Chris.
Wow. I
did that on
name
purpose.
So long. So like, you know, it's up to it's not, I don't necessarily say it's their fault that they don't know the older rappers, but you know, if you want to appreciate the culture of what hip hop is, you should dive back. You know, when I listen to Biggie or Tribe or Outkast or stuff like that, like they came out before I knew what hip hop was, but I had to do my research. I had to study.
Open house and keep doors locked. People that are killed for me, I got for, and you forgot. And they got chills on me, their eyes open, their jaws dropped. I don't need grills, homie, I stay golden like Fort Knox. Let this boy rock, and you can watch a woman throw it like a bouquet. Thinking that they're gonna be good Barbies, Ken. Pick up figure joints, look at these change. I'm a
So here's a little bit of a fun one.
Okay.
Anybody living or dead that you could be on a track with, who would it be?
Living or dead? That's so hard.
It's broad, right? You could do
Oh,
2
that
features
is-
if you want. Lil Pump.
Lil Pump. Pharrell.
Word.
I feel like it would be Pharrell, just because I feel like I'm gonna get the most out of that, production-wise, songwriting-wise, melodies, rapping.
Goddamn everything.
Yeah,
Bro,
total package
No
for sure.
ceiling on that man. Pharrell. If I was to pick one person, I could call it quits after I work with Pharrell.
That's a great answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, no people don't think about it. He reaches out to a lot of people.
He
too.
is.
And he has a lot of
gatekeeper.
talent.
Like I
Yeah,
said, I'm no
absolutely.
gatekeeper. He is a gatekeeper for sure.
I want to congratulate you. I learned that you played South by Southwest 3 times.
3 years straight. Yeah.
For those who don't know what the festival is, could you
Yes.
let them in on that?
So it's so cool because the festival is different from any other festival where it's like weeks long, and it's not in like a one location and there are different stages. It's like just strips of blocks that just have venues on them, and there's just big people and small people playing from noon to damn near 2 a.m. Just there's just so much music going on, and there are so many people, and it's not like you could go miles east and there's still venues playing music, you know what I mean? And everyone there is an artist, everyone's networking, and it's just such a surreal feeling. It's always probably my favorite part of every year is to go to Austin and perform, get belligerently hammered. Dude, they know how to drink there. Like, unreal. They
Put
know
him
how to-
back.
Yeah. Oh, it's unreal. But yeah, I recommend it for any artist, even for any fans. Just go, man. You'll see so many people that you love.
And what are the crowds like there? Like, how many people are we talking for this event?
Oh, dude. Specifically, if you go to 6th Street on a weekend, on Saturday, like, you can't move. It's literally you're immobile. Like, it'll take you 20 minutes just to get to the next corner. That's how many people. They have to close down the roads. It's wicked.
It's like worse than Mardi Gras.
I've never been to Mardi Gras,
word.
but I want to say yes.
Yeah,
I want to go out and say yeah.
straight. That's a big event.
But yeah, let me go to Mardi Gras first, then I'll
Oh,
get
I
back
feel
to you
you, I
on
feel
that.
you.
I don't want to. Yeah.
They want the boy to leave, not a mistake. I don't mean bye when I say peace, not a mistake. 2 fingers up, don't call it deuces, not a mistake. They told me go, but no, I'm Buddhist, not a mistake. What? Not a mistake, not a mistake. They want the boy to leave, not a mistake, not a mistake, not a mistake. I don't mean bye when I say peace, not a mistake.
I learned today that you played Warped Tour?
Yeah.
Bro, I feel like that's every musician's dream.
I know, the
good.
last one too, man. It's
That's
done. It's
sick.
over now.
Wow,
I was
congratulations.
Thank you. I was like super stoked. So I've been to 12 Warped Tours in my life as a fan. My first one when I was 8 years old. 12 different Warped Tours on Long Island, and then to get asked on the last Warped Tour run to do Warped Tour was unreal. You know what I mean? The last Warped Tour I went to, I got to perform at and go on stage. Unreal. And it's not even a flex. Like, I'm just like super honored, super humbled to do that, Crazy. And of course I performed like first in the day, but it didn't even matter. Like, it's
goddamn Warped Tour, man.
Literally, like, that shit didn't even matter. Like, I was there, I was on stage. You couldn't tell me anything that day. You know what I mean? It was hot too. I don't
Baking
know.
in the sun, man. Oh, yeah.
Unreal.
Was it like in the middle of June or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was.
Or-
Yeah,
that's
right in the
terrible.
middle of June. Yeah. Ugh.
I told them not to stress it, man. I promise I'ma get it. Nothing more and nothing less. I told them not to stress it. Empty bottles on the dresser. Overthinking under pressure. Overthinking under pressure, man. I told them not to stress it. Overthinking under pressure. Overthinking under pressure. Empty bottles on the dresser. Overthinking under pressure.
So we've reached a little segment like I like to call the Core Four.
Core 4.
And now everybody who is a hip-hop artist, I always ask these 4 core questions, or in the hip-hop realm of things, and you have to answer them. Hopefully, honestly. It doesn't really matter to me if you do or do not.
I'll answer them honestly.
But
I
number
got you.
1, who's your top 5?
Eminem, Biggie, Andre 3000, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne.
That is the quickest top 5 we've ever gotten out of
Yeah.
anybody. That is sick. Number 2, Biggie or Pac.
Biggie.
All right. I dig it. I'm loving the energy we're getting here, man.
I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I'm from New York.
What's up, Tupac? No.
No disrespect.
No,
As a New
that's
Yorker,
great.
I feel like I was definitely surrounded by Biggie more than Pac.
Yeah,
Ready to Die is one of my favorite albums of all time.
absolutely.
I could recite that whole album front to back.
Sick.
Biggie for sure.
All right, Biggie,
Yeah.
Biggie on the top here. All right. Who's the best rap group?
Group.
Best rap group. You got 5 seconds. No.
A piece of me wants to say Outkast, and another piece of me wants to say A Tribe Called Quest, and another piece of me wants to say Wu-Tang. I'm gonna go with. I might just say A Tribe Called Quest
Okay.
because no, Outkast is so good.
You want to do the 3-headed dragon? All 3?
Yeah, they're all 3 of them are so good. They're so good, man.
If you had to pick one to listen to right now, who would it be?
If I had to, all right, so I'm gonna put myself in a situation where I can only listen to one of those for the rest of my life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tribe Called Quest.
Awesome, I love it.
Yeah,
Locked in.
yeah,
Final answer.
yeah, that's the one I'm picking.
Okay, here's the hardest one of them all.
Oh Jesus,
Who's the GOAT?
Biggie.
That's it. That was also the quickest that has been answered too.
I know. I also want to say Eminem, but
Okay.
Biggie. Just
Right on.
I feel like Biggie was doing flows that are still used today back in the 90s, which is unreal for the time frame in which he was rapping, his cadences and his flows.
Ahead of his time, you'd say?
Oh, dude, he would be relevant today with the music that he was putting out in the 90s. I feel like he's probably one of the most influential in hip hop.
Very timeless.
For
Very
sure.
timeless.
100%, yeah.
Awesome. Those are great, man. That was like the quickest we've ever gotten through that segment.
I
This guy
love
was
those
ready.
questions, though.
Did you see it? Did you look
Hit
at
me
my
with-
phone earlier?
Hit me with more. I love those questions,
Oh
man.
my god. That's great.
All right, bro. You survived the core 4,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I'm
Damn.
glad. I was
Jeez,
nervous.
That was, just ripped him out. Bang, bang, boom,
I
bang. was
know, right? I feel bad that I didn't say Outkast for the group.
that was supposed to take up 5 minutes, bro.
Right?
This
Right?
is-
Oh, but now I'm thinking like NERD. Are they even hip hop?
You're cut. You're
I'm
cut. You're
yeah,
cut,
yeah.
dude. It's
I
locked
can't
in,
do- I
dude.
can't do
Look
this
at that
anymore.
camera and tell him you're cut.
I'm cut. You're not letting me go on, man. I'm out of here.
That's great.
I guess forever's not your color. I guess forever's not your color. You probably went and found enough. You probably went and found enough. You used to have me being broke. You used to have me being broke. I know you love to see me suffer. I know you love to see me suffer.
I just got to know, what is one of your most memorable live performances?
Warped Tour is one of them for sure. We did a performance at a festival. We did Summerfest in Milwaukee. First of all, that whole trip was just unreal. Just the stories I have from Summerfest were just unspeakable. But it was a huge crowd, like way bigger than I thought it was going to be. We had so much fun. Turns out there was like a contest going on for the performers too, and I won. I didn't even know there was a contest, and I won. And they gave us like so much great stuff. Shout out to like Summerfest for being just an awesome festival. And it was the first time ever actually I got off stage, and I think my bass player Joe came to me and was like, dude, there's like a line of people waiting outside like to meet you, like a meet and greet. Like you have to do a meet and greet, right? And I'm a nobody. Even now I'm a nobody. So it was like to have that a couple years ago, I was like, this is unreal. You know, like this is that feeling that like you do it for, you know what I'm saying? And it was definitely my first time feeling it. So that was probably the most memorable.
What was the prize? What did you win? Like,
Oh, dude, we got like a ton of books, weirdly enough. We got a snare drum, guitar strings, an amp, guitar pedal, a microphone, some headphones, like discount codes for music equipment websites and stuff like that. It was sick, man.
what are they trying to get you piecing together another band or something?
Right,
Right? That's
yeah.
crazy. That's
And well,
awesome.
It was crazy too because like, you know, that it was because of my band, so I gave them all those things. You know, I think I took literally just a microphone and one of the headphones, and I gave like my guitar pedal, my guitar player, the strings, my drummer, the snare, my bass player, the guitar pedal, stuff like that. Like they could all have it, you know.
It's dope as
Spread
hell.
the wealth.
Spread the love, man.
Spread the love,
that's it.
yeah, for
Oh,
sure. They deserve it.
Right on. You deserve it.
You deserve it. Maybe not John. You don't deserve it.
Oh, John, come on. You deserve it, dude.
Time just flies by while I get high. Why have I designed my life this way? Cuss while I binge, drink, and fuck with my friends. Think I trust all my instincts, so I'm okay. I spend a lot of money on some dumb shit and spend all of my loving on the wrong bitch, but I do it for the greater good. I do it for the greater good.
So I want to start getting into your music videos. I was looking up the video "Working for It."
Yeah.
It has 59,000 views.
Crazy, right?
Congratulations on that,
That's
man.
naughty.
Thank you.
Do you have any advice for someone who's trying to like grow their YouTube?
I don't even know how I did that, bro. Honestly,
It just happened?
I don't know how that happened, and my other videos don't have that many views, so it didn't carry on. I don't know what that was, man. I think it got posted on like MTV's website, so but I don't know how. So I don't really know any advice. Just keep pushing. Just keep making music that's better than the last music you put out.
I watch my sadness turn to money, man, this can't be right. They say the goal is make it better than your parents' lives. So every day I thank them both for both their sacrifices. But now it's all on me. I'm sitting thinking every day, and now I can't decide on if the city or the beaches is my paradise. But either way, I know I gotta pack a bag tonight and get up off of my feet.
The music scene on Long Island. What is your opinion on it?
Dude, there's a lot of talent that gets overlooked, you know, and you know, I could think of so many artists that have so much potential, and the problem is, you know, we don't have a lot of things like this, like you're doing, you know, to support each other, and we don't have a lot of like, we have a lot of venues, but like who is coming to those venues, you know? Like you could perform to your friends from high school, yeah, that's sick, but like you want the industry to see you, you know what I mean? And you want exposure farther than your hometown. So like I think the problem is living so close to the biggest city in the world is that we get overshadowed because everyone only cares about what's going on in New York City and not what's going on in Long Island, because there's so much talent.
Do you think the artists out here support each other enough?
Yeah, if you find the right people. You know, a lot of jealousy happens, you know what I'm saying, in any city. It's not just Long Island, and hatred is going to happen and stuff like that. But and you guys know New Yorkers are hard-ass people.
Tough crowd, man.
Yeah,
It's a tough crowd.
New Yorkers are some hard-ass people. Like, it's hard to impress a
No
New Yorker,
bullshit.
I guess. Yeah, they don't, right, no bullshit, exactly. So, but I think there's support still. You know, I mean, if there isn't, it's just stupid. Like, why wouldn't you want to see someone make it and succeed in any job, not just music, not just creatively? Like, the way I think of it, if someone from high school wants to be an accountant, right? Am I going to sit back and be like, damn, I hope he fails. Hope he doesn't end up being an accountant. You know what I'm saying? No, go out, be an accountant, make millions, bro. Get a sick client. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should do the same thing with music and painters and actors and models and stuff like that. Like, even if you don't like the music, be like, oh, but it would be sick for someone I went to high school with to, like, succeed musically, you know? I have people that I know, and I don't necessarily listen to that style of music, you know? But why would I want them to fail because of that? I don't understand.
Hell yeah. Oh, right on. It's all positive. It's all connecting.
Right.
It's all
However,
networking.
whether people generally think like that, I'm not sure.
Word. I respect that.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope they do.
We all hope, you know? We all
Yeah.
hope it all is like
yeah.
happy family. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
right. But sometimes you get those people, you know, that when you're trying to do something that's outside the social norm, I don't know if they're afraid, but they don't want to support that, you know? But I feel like there's a lot of support on Long Island. If you find, like I said, if you find the right support, you know, when I go to Rev, you know, I support them So they know that I'm overall just hoping the best for everyone, and then they're gonna support me back. I guess another thing is if you act like you're some kind of big shot, it turns people off. You know, like I said, I don't care what you're trying to be. I support you. You go ahead, as long as it doesn't directly affect me in a bad way. Why would I care? So then, if that's the case, then the support, you reciprocate.
Hold up. Fucking around, I don't mean I'm keeping the faith. You better believe it. I see in your face. You think I'm a demon. I'm keeping the pace. I'm keeping the speed. Consider a race for something I needed. And I've been a master. I've been a bachelor. But I don't have a college degree. And it's got into me. Only intelligence. Singer or something more elegant. Kind of a peanut compared to an elephant. Not in the brains, but under the relevance. I'm bipolar shit. Ain't nobody cold as this. And you should get the notice if you didn't fucking notice this. Holy shit.
On your journey with music, where are we taking in the future?
That's a good question. I don't want to be a rapper. I just feel like there's a ceiling to that. And like I said, you know, there's something about Pharrell. The fact that he could songwrite behind the scenes, write a pop song, write a rap song, produce a pop song, produce a rap song, produce on Despicable Me, like insane. That's what I want. I just want to be a musician. And as far as goals, I don't care about being filthy rich. I don't care about being super famous. I don't do this to be famous. I don't do this to be a cool rap star. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do it because I genuinely like music is one of the only things I care about. Not to sound like a sociopath, but and my goal would be if I could literally survive and make like a living off of what I love genuinely and make enough to support like a family even. That's unreal. That's like what true happiness is. And then anything that comes with it, it's not like I'm going to reject, like, no, riches, fame, no way. Like, if that comes with it, that's great. That's a luxury. But to me, it's about music and it's about being able to support yourself doing something you love.
Dude, that's very well said, man. And yo, just like keep pushing, bro. Keep working. Dude, you're playing Warped Tour. People lining up to see you. Like, you got something,
That
man.
was unreal.
Oh my God.
You got something, man.
Yeah.
So
that was a weird feeling.
keep at it, bro.
Thank you, man.
I feel like we definitely learned a lot about you today, man. Before we wrap things up, where can people follow you on your journey?
Not Marcaux. That's where it comes in. Yeah, so Instagram and Twitter is not Marcaux, NOTMARCAUX. I don't spell it with an O. iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Marcaux, MARCAUX. Have an EP out called Hypocrite. I'm working on an EP right now, and I will continue fighting. And thank you so much for having me, man. It's people like you guys that help the Long Island scene. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate
Awesome.
it.
No
Thank
problem,
you so much,
man.
It's been a pleasure.
Been a blast. Dude.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching this episode of LI on the Rise.
Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button.
And comment who you would like to see next.